Welcome back, Karptastic ladies and gentlemen, to another Wizard Wednesday challenge episode in this PTCGO series, the weekly 4-step challenge where you get a chance at winning some booster packs. More about that later at the end of the deck analysis. If you want to skip to certain parts of the video, click the annotations that will have popped up on the left hand side of the screen, or click the timestamps in the description, and we shall dive right into the first step of the challenge, which is selecting an energy type for the type of Pokemon that we want to play around with today. And I kind of feel like playing around with lightning Pokemon in the standard format, so we'll click the pick random button, and this will make the deck wizard generate a completely random deck for us based around some lightning Pokemon, except that there is no lightning Pokemon in this list. That is weird. That is weird indeed. So we will try again. Maybe I didn't press the lightning type. I think I did, but maybe I didn't really press it. Maybe it didn't register, so we will try again here. If the deck wizard loads, I'll select the lightning type one more time, and hopefully this time the PTCGO manages to select some lightning Pokemon. So there we go. We will give it a second to register, let it sink in the deck wizard's innards, in its brains, and then we will click the pick random button. It froze. I don't know if you will be able to see in the recording, but it definitely froze. Oh, there we go. I think it has processed my request. Yes, indeed it did. We'll get rid of the non-lightning Pokemon because we have to play around with lightning Pokemon. That is part of the challenge, and it looks like we've got two Pokemon lines here. We've got a Manectric line and we've got a Luxray line. So let's start off with the Manectric. Lightning turn, switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. Hits for 30, and then Electric Shock. Hits for 70, discard all lightning energy attached to this Pokemon. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. That is actually pretty interesting, that attack there. And then let's have a look at the Luxray. Luxray is a stage 2 line plus a break. That is a pretty long line to get out. Luxio electric counter, hits for 40 damage times the number of prize cards your opponent has taken. So potentially Luxio could hit for 200 damage. That is potentially a very big attack. And then we got Luxray Fang Snipe, hits for 40. Your opponent reveals his or her hand, discard a trainer card you find there, and Wild Charge. This Pokemon does 30 damage to itself, but with Rough Seas that is not too bad. And what does the break do? The break takes 4 energy, hits for a Wild Fury. Flip a coin until you get tails. This attack does 40 more damage for each heads. Hits for 130 as the base, so with 1 heads that's 170. That's enough to knock out an EX. That's actually a pretty interesting attack. So half of the time you will be hitting for 170, and the other half for, well, approximately, it's not entirely correct, but let's say like 40 to 50% you'll be hitting for 170 there. Okay, let's have a look at the trainer cards as well. We have 7 trainer cards, so that means it's time for us to go into the second step. And the second step, in the second step, I need to select at least 1 Pokemon line and at least half of the trainer cards before I can move into the third step. So we will do that right now. We will build a deck around Luxray, Luxray Break. So we'll get rid of the Manectric. That's the Pokemon line sorted. Now the trainer cards. We have 7 trainer cards divided by 2. That's 3.5. We'll round up to 4. So we can get rid of 3 trainer cards. And we will get rid of the Stadium for sure, as well as the Cherno. No need for Cherno. We've got Super Odd Switch and Assault Vest. How many hit points does our Luxray have? 170. And this one's got 140. Do we need the Assault Vest? And that is the question. Do we want to play down the Assault Vest? Let's have a look at our damage outputs. Yeah, we do put out a lot of damage, but we do require a lot of energy at the same time as well. So there's the difficulty of attaching all those energy to get our damage output. We will get rid of the AZ. I don't think we'll use AZ, and that means we will use these cards, these 4 trainers and the Pokemon line to move into the 3rd step. And the 3rd step is me building a deck based around Luxray, and my deck list must include the cards you see here. So it must include the Luxray line and the 4 trainer cards. I'm going to do that right now, and I will be right back when I am done building my list. And with a click of the finger, I am back with the final list that I have come up with. Let's first start off by having a look if the cards from the original Deck Wizards list are still here. You can see the Luxray line right here, and the trainer cards, I believe there was a Professor's Letter, so the Professor's Letter is right there. The Super Rod is there as well, the Switch, that's 3 cards. And where is number 4? Oh, there it is, the Assault Vest right at the bottom here, number 4. So all trainer cards and all Pokemon cards are still here. Now, what is the strategy that I am trying to pull off here? And as you can see, there's a fair amount of cards in the list, so we'll go over the strategy. I'll try to explain to you what I am trying to pull off. It's a bit of a silly, but I believe yet original deck idea, but more so silly than original for sure. So I was looking for a partner for Luxray here, because Luxray by itself is not going to pull its weight. It's not going to manage to win enough games, I think. So I was looking for a partner, and specifically a partner which can energy accelerate onto Luxray, because we do need a fair amount of energy attachments before we can attack. And so there's Mega Manectric, there's Magnezone, but both Mega Manectric and Magnezone are evolutions, and I didn't really want to fit in other evolutions in this deck. We already have plenty of evolutions to go through. So I went with a fighting lightning combination approach and energy acceleration with Landorus with Shout of Power, hitting for 20, attaching a basic energy card from our discard pile to one of our benched Pokemon. And that will be hopefully a lightning energy from our discard pile. But even if it is a fighting energy that we are attaching, that's not too bad, because we have Smeargle here. Smeargle will allow us to swap out energies if we have a Luxray in the active spot, and even to swap out energies for the Landorus. If we start off with Landorus and a Battle Compressor and a Lightning Energy in hand, we can attach the Lightning Energy to Landorus, Battle Compressor Fighting Energy, put Smeargle on the bench and swap out the Lightning for the Fighting. I have a count of 5 Fighting Energies, 4 Lightning Energies in his deck, so almost an even split. I do run one Lucario as a backup attacker, very good general versatile attacker Lucario, and can help us draw into some more cards with Corkscrew Smash as well. And I've also got Shaymin for drawing into cards, two copies of Shaymin, and then 3 copies of Sycamore, as well as 1 copy of Purge for draw support. And then finally also the Scorched Earth Stadium for draw support. This is going to help us to get energies in a discard pile. For example, mainly the fighting energies then, but as I said, getting the fighting energies in a discard pile is okay, because we can then just swap them out with Smeargle. As long as we can get energies in a discard pile, I will be happy. I've also got 3 copies of Battle Compressor to help us with getting those energies in the discard pile. Now, some of you might have already noticed there's also Korrina in the deck list besides Birch and Sycamore, and I think Korrina has a great use case here, because we have both the fighting and the lightning type Pokemon, so we could actually use Korrina to search out, that's not a Korrina, we could use Korrina to search out our Landorus, and then to search out a rare candy, which we can then use to evolve our Shinx into a Luxray directly. I do play 3 copies of the rare candy, but we even if we don't really necessarily want to get out a fighting Pokemon, Korrina is still quite great. It basically acts like a Skyla then, just to get out item cards. Skyla can get stadiums as well, but and supporters, but it kind of acts like a weaker version of Skyla then. We could Korrina for an Ultra Ball for Shaymin, could Korrina for Level Ball for Smeargle, we could Korrina for Professor's Letter for a Fighting Energy and a Lightning Energy, then discard the Fighting Energy with the Scorched Earth, draw into 2 more cards. So there's plenty of uses, even Korrina for Focus Sash. and then put the Focus Sash onto our Landorus so that our Landorus stays alive a little bit longer while we set up our Luxray on the bench. Because that's the main strategy here. We want to keep Landorus alive while we are setting up. And when we are ready, we are going to switch. Switching is not too bad. Most of our Pokemon have just a single retreat cost, except for the Lucario here. I do believe Smeargle only has a single energy retreat cost as well, and he does indeed. So we don't need too many switching cards. Only one switch is more than sufficient. And I believe that's it for the most important cards of this deck list. I do run one Rough Seas when we are facing... what's his name again? Trevenant. If we are facing Trevenant with the Silent Fear, we could heal up some damage counters from our benched Shinx. But even then, it's going to be a pretty niche use case. And since we only run one copy, it might be too difficult to get out anyway. So not sure, don't really like this Rough Seas too much, but I still included it. Just want to see how it works. Again, I cannot test the list before I use it here for the challenge. That is part of the challenge. I need to make the list without testing, so that sometimes can lead to very interesting or maybe silly card choices. I do want to make one more final note about the Ace Trainer. Why did I include one copy of Ace Trainer? Basically because I am expecting to at least be behind in the prizes in most games. Most games I think we will lose our Landorus before we take a knockout, and then we can use the Ace Trainer to disrupt our opponent's hand, bring him down to 3 cards while we draw into 6. So I think that's one way for us to potentially clutch games with the Ace Trainer. And that's going to be it for the deck analysis. I am going to call it here. Leave a like if you enjoy the premise of this deck, and if you think the upcoming battles will be enjoyable as well, and subscribe to my channel for more competitive, silly and fun deck ideas. And I will see you in the versus ladder really soon. But before we do that, before we go into the battles, I have an announcement to make. Every week, every Wednesday from now on the Wizard Wednesday Challenge, I will be giving away 5 booster packs. 5 Ancient Origins booster packs is what we are going to start off with. What you have to do to be eligible to win those booster packs is you've got to make a Luxray list of your own. So it doesn't really matter if it's a bad one or a good one. A Luxray list of your own is what I would like to see. Even if you don't own the Luxray cards, you can still make the list in a PTCGO. Just click the Show Not Own button and you can add cards that you do not own, like this Jirachi. I do not own it. It will appear as grayed out, but I can still take a screenshot of this. For this week, the first 2 people who send me their list will be eligible to win the packs. So only if you are among the first 2 people. Send me your list via Facebook messaging. My Facebook is in the description. As soon as I've received 2 lists, I will put a remark, a notification on my Facebook saying that you should not try to enter anymore, because the contest will be closed from then on. I will take a look at the two lists from the first 2 people. I will take a look at them and I will pick one of those lists, and that winner will receive 4 booster packs. The other one, the second one, the one who was not picked but still managed to enter, will receive 1 booster pack. And that's it. That is the contest. Every week there will be a contest like that. Every week for a different deck, because I will be playing a different deck in the Wizard Wednesday Challenge. So now it is for real time to go into the battles, and I will see you there in a second. Chipmunk143 is going to be our first contender of the day with a colorless, a grass and a psychic deck. We get to call the coin flip. We won the coin flip. We are going to go first. We have to go first. We have our Luxray to set up here. I kind of fear that we are facing a Vespiquen deck. That's my biggest fear here, because that would item lock us and we need our item cards. Oh, it's not a Vespiquen deck. It's a Mega Sceptile EX deck. That is going to be an interesting battle, hopefully. We have a pretty good hand to start out with. I'm going to dig for a Shinx with the level ball. I think that's the best thing to do with that level ball. We top deck a Fighting Energy. That's really good. Let's put the Fighting Energy on the Landorus. Let's get out a Shinx. They have the Smeargle in deck as well. Another Smeargle is prized, it seems. Then we will put down the Scorched Earth, and we will look with a Korrina for... do we possibly want to get out the Lucario? Could be a good backup attacker, but I'm going to go for the Landorus for now. And let's have a look. Which item card would be the most useful right now? Actually a Battle Compressor, I think. So that we can start discarding some energies. We have a VS Seeker for another Korrina or for a supporter that we can discard. We are going to be discarding... Let's see, Hex-Maniac is gonna come in handy against Ariados. Then some lightning energies. 2 lightning energies, maybe. Yeah, let's go with that. Hex-Maniac and 2 lightning energies. Next turn we'll go for another Korrina. We'll end our turn for now. We are kind of stuck with a dead hand. A dead hand, that's what I want to say. So maybe I should have compressed a supporter instead. I used a supporter to draw. Yeah, I should have done that now that I think about it. Should have discarded Sycamore. Now we could have discarded this energy with the Sycamore. We would have had to discard the Luxray as well, but at least we would have been able to draw into some more cards. So, kind of regret now having done what I did. I could Korrina for a Lucario and then for a VS Seeker, and then no, then I would be stuck again. I will most likely use the Korrina in the next turn. Korrina for a potentially a rare candy. As long as this Shaymin-EX is stuck in the active spot, I feel quite confident. It's too bad that we won't be doing any damage to it because of its resistance against fighting types. But our Luxray will do a lot of damage to the Shaymin. My opponent gets out 3 Sceptiles, is going to counter our Stadium. And decides to Mega Evolve straight away. Interesting. Alright, we do top deck a Birch. So I'm going to attach to the Shinx. And I'm going to VS Seeker for Korrina. And then Korrina for Lucario and a rare candy. And then in the next turn either use a Lysander on the Hoopa or a Birch, depending on if my opponent retreats the Shaymin. I'm gonna keep the Lucario in hand for now. We will use Shout of Power for 0 damage and start powering up the Luxray. So far the strategy is working, but it feels a little bit slow here against Mega Sceptile EX. I think the Mega Sceptile EX is a little bit too fast for us, and it can heal up very easily, which would deny our one-hit KOs. And my opponent manages to find an AZ. We should stay alive here. We have 120 hit points. And draws into 6 cards, so my opponent has the AZ in a discard pile, meaning that he can AZ up the Hoopa. That's for sure. Do I really want to stall with the Hoopa then? By licensing out the Hoopa, that's the question. Or do I want to go for the Birch? We get another Shinx. This is risky here. I'm going to try to stall, use the Lysander, and energy accelerate some more on the Luxray, and then next turn we'll go for the Birch. Hopefully he does not have a VS Seeker in hand. And that's what I'm hoping for right now. He does not play DCEs, I'm fairly certain my opponent doesn't play them. He's going to Mega Evolve one more time. Can he find a VS Seeker for an AZ? And he's going to manually retreat the Hoopa, so it did work. We managed to stall And he even discards Ariados. So he most likely... Oh, and a Scoop Up. Oh my goodness, the Scoop Up worked. He plays Scoop Up. Who plays Scoop Up? Oh boy, that is annoying. That is definitely annoying. I'm going to promote the Luxray then. It's now or never. Maybe we can get lucky with some coin flips. In any case, he cannot one-hit KO our Luxray. What is he thinking about right now? I wonder indeed. He's going to attach a Fighting Fury Belt to the Shaymin. Alright. And there is a knockout on our Landorus. Going to power up the Mega Sceptile-EX on the bench. And he's probably going to try to scoop up the Mega Sceptile-EX that we are going to damage with our Luxray. Yeah, we are facing a very bad deck for us, because he can heal up our damage. What is happening? Okay, so... bit on the slow side, my opponent there. We'll promote a Luxray, we'll use our Birch, unless we top deck a Sycamore. We get an energy, we'll for sure attach the energy to the Luxray, we'll put down the Lucario, so you don't draw into it, and then hopefully we can get heads. Yes, we do. Can we get an Ultra Ball? We did get the Ultra Ball. As well as a Assault Vest, but that's not very useful right now. I'm going to discard the Smeargle actually, and a Fighting Fury Belt. Get out the break here. Get it into play. And we will put the Focus Sash on the Landorus, attach the Assault Vest. And hopefully we can flip 3 heads here, that's what we need. No tails. 1 head, 2 heads, 3 heads. Yes, we knocked out the Mega Sceptile in 1 hit. Amazing. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that we did that. That is truly amazing. Did that just really happen? We were so lucky there. Wow. Fear the Luxray. Fear it. Ha. That was incredible. That was one for the books. Can we do it again? Can we hit that? Can we hit that knockout once more? Too bad my opponent has that Fighting Fury Belt attached. A very pesky Fighting Fury Belt. He's probably going to hit us for an Unseen Claw. What did he discard there? A Scoop Up. That's good. The less Scoop Up, the better. And yeah, he's going to try to get the Ariados into play. And that's his first VS Seeker. Alright. I thought he had played more. Sycamore going to discard a Fisherman. What? Fisherman? Why does he play Fisherman? That's interesting. He must play Battle Compressor then. Or maybe he's just counting on discarding energy with the Ultra Balls. It doesn't look like he got out the Ariados, which is good for us. Then he can hit for 60 at most. 70 actually, with the Fighting Fury Belt. Can we maybe find a Stadium to heal up? That's what we really want to get out. The Rough Seas. Let's have a look with the Battle Compressor. Is the Rough Seas in deck? It is in deck. We'll discard an Ace Trainer. We will discard a... Which Luxray do we want to keep in deck? I'm going to discard this one. I feel like the other one is more useful. We also have the Luxio as a backup attacker. Definitely an interesting one to keep in mind. If we are down to 1 prize card, for example. And then we shall also discard a Battle Compressor. Let's have a look here. Do we have any energies in the discard pile? We do. Going to discard a Battle Compressor. Where is our Battle Compressor? There it is. Do we want to shuffle back anything? And Smeargle, Luxray. energy. I'm not too sure. What do we do here? What do we do here? I'm going to... How many VS Seekers have I used? One VS Seeker. I don't have a license or anything. I'm going to use the Corina then. I mean, I don't have a Sycamore, and my opponent conceded the match. Wow. I was going to use Corina there. Corina for a Professor's Letter to get an energy in hand. And then I was going to put the Shaymin down, dig for the stadium, and then I was going to attack. But our opponent conceded. Too bad. I would love to see where that would have gone. But anyways, I think it was already a pretty nice match, seeing that one-hit KO. And I think we could have gotten another KO with our Luxray, possibly at some point. And then we could have gone for the final blow with the Luxio. If we could have powered up the Luxio, that could have been a possibility. Or we could have just powered up the Lucario and hit with the Lucario. I think we definitely stood a chance, but it definitely wasn't a win just yet. I think my opponent conceded prematurely. So we'll find one more final opponent. See if we can pull off another win with Luxray. The final opponent of the day is going to be XX Carlinus XX with a Night March deck. Trouble in paradise for us right there, Night March. Yeah. Alright, hopefully we can get a Focus Sash on our Landorus if we start off with Landorus. We start off with Lucario. That's a problem as well. We will need to find a Focus Sash with the Corina. We do get the Shinx and a Smeargle, but that's about it. And that did look like a Night March deck, although it kind of looked differently as well. I did see the DC and a Puzzle of Time, but I also saw Team Flag Grunt, which I was not expecting to see. Maybe this is a bit of a different build of Night March. And what are we facing? Yes, I will draw into one more card for sure. Oh, good. It is a Landorus. Yes, it is Night March. We are going to get our switch, actually, I believe. Do we want to switch here? Huh, what do we get out here? Do we get the Focus Sash for the Lucario? Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna take a gamble and guess that my opponent cannot one-hit KO the Lucario. Let's switch into the Smeargle maybe. Or let's get the switch out and let my opponent have a try at the Lucario. And then switch it onto the bench. That's what I'm going to do, I think. Unfortunately, we have those two rare candies there. So we will end our turn. And for some reason, the ticking sound of the clock is continuing. Yeah, this is not looking good for us. Can my opponent get enough Night Marches in the discard pile straight away? He needs 9 if he wants to attack with the Joltik. That is a lot of Night Marches that my opponent needs to find. Fighting Fury Belt on the Joltik, that is not good. That is going to slow us down as well. Oh, discards a Puzzle of Time. That must have been a DCE or something then. So now he needs... Yeah, he still needs 9 Night Marches in the discard pile. It looks like he's going to try to attack with the Joltik. Going to dig for a Shaymin right now. Discards a DCE and a VS Seeker and a Buddy Rescue. That's one less VS Seeker my opponent can use. So he is losing some resources there. Already puts down the Dimension Valley as well. Meaning that we can counter it. We don't have to put down our stadium first. And the first Battle Compressor of the game hits the field. Does he discard 3 Lampens? Yes, he does. 3 Lampens, and then he is Probably going to use Sycamore. Indeed, he does. Sycamore, so he had a really good hand there. Discards that Zero Seek, so he can actually VS Seeker for Zero Seek, get rid of our Focus Sash that way. Huh. Yeah, we are not looking very good. And Night March for only 70, so he didn't manage to knock out our Lucario as predicted. We will switch into the Landorus, and then I'm going to have to use the Sycamore here. I could Corina for a Focus Sash, but then I'm left without any energy. We really need to attack this turn, so I'm going to Sycamore. There is an energy and there is a Focus Sash, so we got both. That's really good. So we'll even thin out our deck some more, get some more fighting energy in hand. We don't really need lightning energy in hand. I think I will even discard some lightning energy with the Battle Compressor. Discard one lightning energy. And then the Ace Trainer, because the Ace Trainer can come in handy quite a lot, quite a bit. We have 2 VS Seekers, that's not a lot. I will leave the Ace Trainer in deck. I'm going to get out the Hexamaniac and the Lysander, put those in a discard pile together with that energy. And we will then attack with the Landorus. Yeah, let's attack with the Landorus. Get that lightning energy onto the Shinx. This will be a knockout in the next turn. But my opponent is most likely going to get out Pumpkaboo, so Pumpkaboo is what is going to give us trouble. Zero Seek indeed is going to get rid of that Fighting Fury Belt. Maybe I should have discarded the Hexamaniac because we have the VS Seeker in hand. I kind of regret now. No, I mean the Ace Trainer. Kind of regret not discarding the Ace Trainer now. That would have brought my opponent down to 3 cards, but he's only left with 3 cards anyways. Opts to knockouts. To knock off the Focus Sash with our Zero Seek, which is Zero Seek, but he doesn't manage to knock out our Landorus. That surprises me. I thought he might have another Battle Compressor or something, but he only has 5 Night Marchers in the discard pile, so it didn't really matter that he discarded that Focus Sash. We will counter the Stadium, and we shall draw into some more cards. Discard that Fighting Energy. There's another Shinx. I will bench it, and then do I want to use that VS Seeker right now for a Hexamaniac? I don't really feel like it. Yeah, I don't really feel like using Hexamaniac right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the Fighting Fury Belt to the Landorus on the bench. Maybe not. Not yet. Not yet. I will attach a Fighting Energy to that Landorus, and I will Shout of Power for a Lightning Energy and attach that to the Shinx, or actually a Fighting Energy apparently. Yeah, I only discarded 1 Lightning Energy, and now we are out of energy. No energy in the discard pile anymore, so we will have to manually attach. Luckily we have that Smeargle there. If we can get some more Lightning Energy in the discard pile, we can switch out that Fighting Energy. My opponent plays a Unknown, that is interesting. 2 puzzles are prized and 1 VS Seeker. Excellent stuff. He's already got 3 VS Seekers in the discard pile, meaning that he only has the 1 that's left in the discard pile, in the prizes. And there he does get out the Pumpkaboo with the DCE. Can he do anything else? He's already down to 15 cards as well. We will get a knockout on his Joltik here. He doesn't have a Fighting Fury Belt attached. What does he go for? Does he go for the Lysander or the VS Seeker? He went for the Startling Megaphone? Was that a Startling Megaphone? That's the one card I wasn't really paying attention to in the bottom right corner there. Alright, so we'll have to see what he went for there. You get a Sycamore. Let's discard 1 more Fighting Energy with the Stadium while we can. We get a Lightning Energy. I'm going to attach that to the other Shinx, I think. And then we will get out a... We could search for a Focus Sash. We know my opponent doesn't have a VS Seeker to go for the Zero Sick anymore. We could use the Puzzles of Time, but 2 are prized as well, and 1 is in a discard pile. So I'm going to use my VS Seeker for a Korrina for a Focus Sash. I think that's my best bet here. And we even have another Landorus. Where is our last Focus Sash? There it is. And then we can go with the Sycamore in the turn after that. A Focus Sash onto the Landorus, and then we shall we evolve one of our Shinxes? And maybe we will get rid of the Level Ball and the Assault Vest, although that kind of pains me because it can be really useful. And we will get out a Luxray. We'll go with this one, the one that reduces damage. And hopefully it doesn't get licensed out. I'm going to accelerate onto the Shinx on the bench. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to accelerate onto the Shinx on the bench. That way we have 2 Shinx that we can use. But never mind, we have 3 rare candy in the discard pile, so we cannot evolve that Shinx. Let's accelerate onto the Landorus then. So we could potentially hit for a Sky Lariat and take the second prize of the game. So far we are still in the game, but it can turn bad for us pretty quickly here. The Pumpkaboo is our worst enemy, and my opponent has 4 left. Oh my goodness, the Startling Megaphone hits the field. It did indeed take the Startling Megaphone. So I did see that correctly. Shouldn't have gone for that Focus Sash then. I kind of forgot about it. Immediately forgot about it, so yeah. How many DCEs does he have in the discard pile? I couldn't see there for a moment. 2 DCEs. We shall promote the Shinx. Give him a knockout on the Shinx. I want to preserve the Landorus. We can still hit for Sky Lariat with Landorus. What I really want to get next turn is another energy. Another lightning energy. That's what I really want to get. Hit for that 100 damage. And my opponent is going to guide his top deck with a Puzzle of Time. And that's again 1 less puzzle he can use. He can still use these 2 from the prizes. And he concedes the match. My opponent concedes the match. We took a win against Night March. Even though Luxray didn't really play a role there, we would have attacked with him in the next turn, so kind of too bad that my opponent conceded. I don't know what's up with that. My opponents keep conceding today. Yeah, that just happens sometimes. I guess Luxray has intimidating mains. Wink, wink. For those of you who understand the inside, the pun. Let's call it the pun. So, Landorus MVP against Joltik. We dealt 120 damage. My opponent dealt 320. We took the win against Night March, and we are going to leave it at that for today's Wizard Wednesday challenge. Don't forget about the contest if you want to have a chance at winning some Ancient Origins booster packs. I hope you have a Karp-tastic day, and I will see you on Friday with a Fun Friday episode.
Karp, 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 Karp.